So one thing that was on my mind um is the curse of money. And as you know, I follow the culture and I pay attention to what's happening with particularly with our people and what our people are influenced by. Yeah, and not because I care so much about the celebrities and their lives, but because I know that these are the things that influence a lot of our people. And I couldn't help but follow what was going on with this the rapper Cardi B, and she has this boyfriend, baby daddy named Stefan Diggs. There's that word money again, right? Remember, and I got a lot to say about money. My PhD's in money, and so I love talking about financial psychology and the consequences of money, and you know how money can destroy you. Money. People think money will save you, and that's usually from people who've never had a lot of money. They think money's going to solve all your problems. Money's going to make your life automatically better. Money has no conscience. Money has no, it does not care about you. Money does not want you to be happy. Money doesn't want you to be sad. Money doesn't want you to win. Money doesn't want you to lose. Money does not give a damn. And so, and which again is yet another example of how the obsession with money and the scarcity of money can breed a really dysfunctional relationship with money, right? Like money is important, but money can't be the most important thing in your life because if money becomes the most important thing in your life, then money's going to run your life, which means that your life won't improve because of money. Money will just become the religion. It will become the God that you're bowing to every day. And ultimately, you'll look back and say, gosh, I wish I'd never had money because money can destroy you. Right. So anyway, with Stefan Diggs, all these thoughts kind of flew through my brain when I saw what happened here. And it made me think about just what drives me mad as a father and as a black man about what this culture might do to the decisions of young people. And I'm not talking about just Cardi B and her man. I'm talking about the fact that they influence millions and millions and millions and millions of people. If you ask the average black child in America and you say, would you consider Cardi B to be a successful person? Let's say that, would you agree with me that at least half of those kids, maybe 70, 80% would say yes? How many of you agree with me that most kids in our community, if you put a picture of Cardi B and say, this is Cardi B, she sold millions of records, she's got millions of dollars, here's what her house looks like, here's what her car looks like, here's how much money she got in the bank, this is the car her boyfriend bought her. Would you agree with me that most of our children would say, oh yeah, she's successful? Yeah, they would, right? Or Stephon Diggs, he plays for the New England Patriots. Show that to a black boy, right? You go into a classroom full of black boys, 60, 70% of them, you say, what do you want to do for a living? They'll say, I want to be in the NBA or the NFL, right? Would you agree that most of those black boys would say, yeah, he's successful. That's the dream. Like if you bring him into career day on, I guess a sixth grade class in the hood, he's going to be a hit, right? He's going to give a speech and say, hey, kids, if this is how you can be just like me, right? Girls need fathers for different reasons, but fathers matter. And I think that when they told our community that fathers don't matter and that all you need is the mama and the mama can be the daddy and the mother at the same time, that was just kind of a really warped reality they fed primarily to black people. And you see the consequences all the time. So I know people are like, don't do that. My wife hates that title. And the other, but it's okay though. And I did it, and I'm gonna show you guys the video because here's the thing. I found that confronting my death is actually what opened the door for me to truly live. Right? Like once I kind of accepted the fact that we're all gonna die, then you can start really focusing on a really important part of your life, which is your legacy. Right? So the reason it's important to confront it is because so many people live life as if they're never gonna die. They're focused so much on the moment and getting through the week that they don't think about legacy. You're not thinking about, well, what happens if I'm not here? My kids, what's going to happen to my kids if I'm not here? What's going to happen to my spouse if I'm not here? Will they know where the paperwork's at? Will they have any money? Or am I gonna have them go fund me into a grave? Like what's that gonna look like? And you got to work that out in your head. What you should be afraid of. I'm not afraid to die, just so you know. I'm gonna get back to this point here, but I'm not afraid to die. What I'm afraid of is dying for nothing. I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid to leave the people I love in a horrible situation. Death does not scare me. What scares me is not living a meaningful life while I got the chance to live.